Hey, so I've been super excited to film this dining room cleanup. Mostly because I have so much like pretty art in here, and it's like the most colorful, happy room in my house. I feel, I just feel so relaxed when I'm in here. I think because it's not overwhelming, it tends to be easier to keep clean than some of the other rooms, and just all the bright, cheery artwork that I hope you get to see watching this. It just kind of lifts my spirits. I would really like to make every room in the house, this happy and upbeat. Anyway, so I was a little bit daunted starting it because I knew there was a lot to do in here, and it ended up taking me about 2 hours, and I didn't even get to the china cabinet. So next video, I think that's what I'll be tackling because that's been a mess for a while. And hopefully that'll be an opportunity for me to make a shorter video, because I know a lot of these have been pretty long lately. I'm also wearing some comfortable jeans today, and that this felt better to move around in than the ones I was wearing the other day. Maybe a little bit looser, I guess. Still had to keep pulling them up. And then like that Captain America shirt that I'm wearing is funny because every time I wear it, I think about how when I first started transitioning and presenting as more male, I got that shirt, and I was at a job where, most of the time the people there were pretty openly homophobic and transphobic, but there was this one guy that was kind of decent, and he mentioned like, oh, I think like every guy I know has that shirt. So that made me feel really good. Just knowing that I had done something, that a typical guy does, and being acknowledged for that. So I don't know if you noticed, but I took that towel that I put on that chair, I took that off to go wash. I like to have my daughter's seat have just a towel on it to protect the chair. I have plastic covers on all the other chairs, but she squirmed so much in her seat that it kept breaking off. So we just went with a towel instead. So I tried to choose like a bright, cheery color for spring. And then I have my laundry basket that I keep in the dining room because I find that a lot of time... Oh, kitty! Hey, kitty, kitty. Anyway, I find that a lot of the time when we're in the common areas of the house, we're taking off our socks and things like that. So I wanted it just to be easier because a lot of times they just end up on the floor. Oh, yeah, she has a kitty laundry basket in her room. I'm like, I might as well run a load since I'm washing the tablecloth and that towel that was on her chair. Anyway, so that's just kind of a hack I use, having an additional laundry basket to keep stuff off the floor. Doesn't necessarily always work, but it does make cleanup a lot quicker when I'm finally like, hey, please, child, pick up your socks off the floor. It's good that Kitty gets to be in this video. He was pretty interested. He's the young one. He's about 4 years old. He's a sweet boy. And you got to see him a lot in this video, I think. Especially when I'm down scrubbing the floor at the end. He's pretty curious about what's going on. I love him. He's such a little happy guy walking around. He has his tail up a lot of the time, too. So I can tell he's happy. He's a little bit skittish, though. I think there's something with his eyesight ever since we got him. We've had him since he was a kitten. So I don't know, like sometimes we'll come up to him and he seems like at first he doesn't recognize us, and then he sniffs us and he's like, oh, okay. But we've taken him to the vet and they've many times, and they've never said anything is wrong with his eyesight when we've brought that up. So I don't know. So I wanted to move that table and get that out of the way so that I could scrub the floors really well and just get it really nice in this room. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. We also keep the cats, at least the two that we don't, keep separate from the older one with the digestive issues. But we keep the cats' food bowls and water bowls in here, so you'll get to see those. They like to eat with us. I think it's a social thing. They prefer to eat if we're there with them. And even the other cat, we put her food and water and stuff in a different room, and she likes to wait for us to go into the bedroom with her, and then she'll start eating. Cats are pretty social creatures, and I think that gets, misunderstood a lot. People think cats just want to be alone all the time, but as someone that has 3, I've noticed that it seems like they really like to be around people. And I'm trying to not scrape up the floor, so I was like, what can I use here to avoid scraping the floor? I'll just use these mats I have. Those silicone mats are really great though. I wanted something to make it easier to clean up the cat food and water when it's spilled out. So I've really been happy with those. I'll show them more at the end. They have a little paw print on them and everything. And then you'll see I'm going to clean out my AC today and clean out that vent. But I wrote on there, Adam Jensen, keep out. I don't know if any of you have ever played the game Deus Ex Human Revolution, but I love that game. I wonder if you'll be able to see all the fur flying out of there. You can kind of see it getting really clean, though. So much fur flew out of that. Anyway, in the game, Adam Jensen is the main character, and he likes to climb around in the vents of places. So, since we love that game, just thought that we put that little reference, because we're adults now, and that means we get to put random references around our house to video games that we like if we want to. That's the perks. See how much hair came out of that thing? I clean this once a month, and it still is just gets full of cat hair. But yeah, it's nice having a reusable air filter thing for the AC. It's pretty good for sustainability, and that was actually in the house when we moved here, so it wasn't something we even had to buy for ourselves and figure out ourselves. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't mind cleaning it regularly. So that's me going to use the Autobahn that my AC guy recommended when we first hired him and moved in, just to keep the AC unit clean, or the filter clean. So that's part of our monthly ritual. I also go and pour, he said to pour bleach in the drain and then follow that up half an hour later with hot water. So, just regular house maintenance. And that took me a few minutes to go run and do that. I did finally change the name on my fridge. It's not a Decepticon anymore, because first it was Megatron, then I had Soundwave up there with the letters spelling out robot names. So now it's RC, which you don't get to see on this video, unfortunately, but I was mentioning to my online friend. I don't know what the threshold for friends online is, but I like them. I want to be their friend. Anyway, I was mentioning to my online friend that I'd really like to be able to write more upbeat characters like RC or Hot Rod or Rodimus. I tend to really want to write I don't know, when I write, I really like the hurt and comfort stuff where there's a character that's really in pain and then someone helps them out. And then also I really like the redemption and recovery type arcs where, maybe Shockwave, who is super evil, is learning how to be a decent bot and actually have feelings. I don't know, that just tends to be what I'm drawn to. I have a really hard time writing about characters that are just upbeat and least acting like they enjoy life, which makes it sound like I relate more to the like sad characters and am more in tune with them. But I don't know. Well, those are just my strengths, I guess. We all have different strengths. I had a lot of trouble figuring out like camera placement for all this stuff. That toothbrush is really handy. Help me clean out the outer vents as well. But yeah, trying to figure out where to place the camera to get the best angles for this room, especially with like the natural light and the angle for that. But we manage. There is like so much cat hair that comes flying out of the AC vent and out of that filter. It's crazy like how much cat hair can build up in just a small space. Like I don't even finish sweeping the whole room and there's just a ton of cat fur. Could make a whole nother kitten or something. So I'm like trying to figure out also, because I moved the furniture around, just where to place everything and how much I need to clean, and then like letting it dry and making sure that's all dry before I put the furniture back. And then I can't totally put the furniture back because it's such a small room, so it's more like shifting it off to the side. As you might be able to tell, I'm still a little bit sick. Recording this the same week that I recorded my last video. I'm trying to get a better angle to show you like how much cat hair, like just from that small half of the dining room. That's a lot of cat hair. It gets caught in the broom too. And then like when I take it on the dustpan, it starts flying off and I gotta like hold it on. I don't know what the solution for that is other than just putting your hand on the fur. Hey, whatever. I still really love the flooring that is just continuous throughout the house. I don't know. It's so much easier to clean. It used to be this, I don't know, random type of tiles and carpeting throughout the house. And each room was a little bit different, and I don't know. I didn't like how it looked. It just wasn't our style. Maybe it would have been our style many years ago. Who knows? Although I don't know that my style changed too much throughout my life. Those pants are just like a little bit too long, so I have to roll them up. But I'm too, I don't know, inept or lazy or something to hem them. It's easier just to roll them up. I'm trying to get like the baseboards in here too. Like I just want it super clean, and it turns out really good because I don't know. I just like that like eerily clean and organized look. And I can't wait to show you that little space too, where I put that table and the shoe rack. It's like right at our entryway, so it's super useful to have that stuff there. But I also have a bunch of art over there, and I just really love how it looks, so I showed off a little bit at the end, so you get the picture of that. I found it really helpful to have the shoe rack right by the entryway, so that we can keep our shoes more organized instead of losing them. And I don't know, we've gotten rid of a few shoes so that they can all fit onto that shoe rack, although I think there are still some in the closet that we don't use very often. But the ones that we regularly use are there. I can actually only use one pair of shoes anymore. I have my sandals for like when I'm really not in the mood to wear shoes and socks, and I'm not going to be walking much. But I have these shoes that I got like, who knows, like 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was like 2017, so that's about 5 years ago almost. And no, maybe it was 2017, maybe it was 2018. 4 or 5 years. Anyway, they're like these corrective shoes that I got from a Fit to Run. It's like a fancier shoe store. Because my feet would just constantly hurt every time I went walking. And I love walking. But so I went to Fit to Run, and they did like the whole walk on the treadmill test, and will tell you what's wrong with your feet. And I got those corrective shoes with some insoles as well in them, and that's really helped a lot. I could actually walk without horrible pain now. But I only ever wear those shoes, and people keep bugging me to replace them because they've got like a couple holes in them now, because I just wear them every single day. But they're a couple $100s, so I don't really have that kind of money to spare, especially now with just having left my job. And they're still functional enough, so I think people are just going to have to get over the fact that I've got some holy shoes. And that's just going to have to be okay for them, because it's okay for me, and my feet don't hurt when I wear them. And then I know people bug about like wearing socks with sandals. I really don't like the kind of sandals where the like thong or whatever it's called goes between your big toe and the other toe. I've always just found that super uncomfortable, and like to the point it's almost intolerable. I think I had a few shoes growing up where it was like maybe cloth in between, so it wasn't so bad when I was little. But for the most part, I just find it really irritating. So I've always preferred shoes that don't have that on them. I really don't know why that became so popular, because it's just so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know how other people stand it. But I guess we all have different tolerances, you know. So my sandals, you'll probably see, are the kind that just go over the top of your foot and just slide on, which I like that. It doesn't hurt so much. However, I can't walk in them very long, or I'll get the same like problem on the bottom of my feet where those start to hurt. I don't know if it's something with the arches or what, but I don't know. I'm trying to make like decisions here about where to clean next and what spaces to clean. There's so much cat hair on that floor. Even though I swept, there was still a lot that I had to scrub up. I've definitely been glad that I got down and scrubbed the floor in all the rooms I've been cleaning for this channel, because it gets a lot dirtier than you'd think. I mean, my feet there should be proof. I haven't been outside too much today. Although I did walk in the grass a little bit when I went to put that AC filter outside. Sometimes I worry like someone's gonna steal it, like if they see it sitting on the driveway or whatever. But thankfully, it hasn't happened yet. But I guess I did walk a little bit in the grass. When I do record my china cabinet clean out, which I think is going to be the next one, I have a feeling that that's going to be, I don't know, a little bit tougher emotionally, just because it's full of sentimental stuff rather than like stuff I know what to do with. And I've ended up just shoving a lot of things in there that I don't know where to put them. So that's going to be an interesting one, because I'm going to have to make a lot of, like, I don't know, more emotional, sentimental decisions. I have a feeling that the hardest room in the house is the one I always have trouble with, which is the guest room. Because I can't decide if I want it to be an actual office. I really love that dragon scale laundry basket there. I can't decide if I want it to be an office, a guest room, a like storage type room, or just what. Like, I want my sewing machine set up in there, but I also want a space to put like the overflow of the house in. I have a kind of decontamination area set up because ever since the whole pandemic started, we've been kind of weird about, we want to quarantine our mail. I don't know. And then we want guests to be able to sleep in there, so we have 2 beds in there. And it's just not enough like space to do everything I want in there. And we also have like the stuff in there that we're trying to either like sell or get rid of. The little space over there is just so nice. Like I'm just so happy with that little black table. That was probably the furniture I was the most excited about getting. I don't know why. I just really like a nice black buffet table. Those pants are so loose on me. They're like yeah. I'm not gonna say what size they are, but I don't know. I guess it like, kind of like feeds into my unhealthy eating patterns and beliefs that are just like kind of in my programming of my brain that I consciously work against and challenge. Thinking about the numbers and stuff, and every time I reach a new weight, there's that tendency of like back in the day where I want to just think about what's going to be the next goal. Okay, I lost this many pounds. How many can I lose now? And I know that it's unhealthy, and I work every day at challenging that because I know that. But it's like a constant vigilance, you know. I don't know if that is ever going to really leave me. And at the same time, like I also really want to make sure my child has a healthy relationship with food and with weight. And I know like society is actively working against that. Her early life, I think she had a lot of caretakers that were a larger size, and they were like always super nice to her, and she would say things like, I love fat people. And I was so happy with that, you know, that she was kind of, I don't know, not prejudiced against people because of their size. She even like was kind of identifying with them a little bit, of like wanting to be like them, whatever that, you know, meant to her at that young age. And at like the same time, like I want her to have a healthy relationship with her body, and to not judge people based on their appearance, to not get that fat phobia. So like, as she's gotten older, I've tried to educate her on, you know, the importance of body acceptance and not policing other people's bodies. And still, like, at the same time, sometimes she'll come home and maybe it's something she picked up at school, I don't know where, and like say things about like, I think I'm a bit fat, and I'm like, are you serious? Because one, she's not, and then two, I'm also like, even if you were, that's not a bad thing. Fat is not bad. You know, we love fat acceptance and positivity on this channel here, because I think there's a lot of misinformation about being fat and calling it unhealthy automatically, when I really don't think you can tell someone's health just based off of their weight. And I think that's something important for society to unlearn. And then at the same time, like, I had some medical stuff where my doctors told me to lose weight, and I just have to trust them that that's what I need to do. And then also not let that play into my old disordered eating patterns and thoughts. It's just like, it's so much to balance, and figuring out, you know, what is the right thing to do on that. And then it's like such mixed emotions when people do say things about like, oh, you've lost weight, or oh, you're looking really good, you look so skinny, because there's that like unhealthy thought that comes with it of, oh, thank you, keep telling me that. And then also, I know that that's provoking these unhealthy things in me. I really love that tree. I worked hard on that tree It's actually the dots that you see. It's a rainbow of buttons, and then my daughter made that picture of a sun that you see to the upper right, and it just makes me happy. It's so colorful. I wish you could see it better in the video, but if I get enough interest, maybe I'll just post the Instagram picture that I took of it. I'm finally trying to get the table more back in place. And yeah, I don't know. The whole relationship society has with food is unhealthy and confusing, and that makes it really hard to figure out and also find like the scientific accuracy on, because there's actually a lot of scientific research showing that fat is not necessarily equal to unhealthy. And that's something I think about a lot, trying to just unlearn those unhealthy patterns, deal with the triggers that come up every day, while also trying to be healthy and listen to my doctor. And yeah, that's a lot. And I think probably a lot more people struggle with that than you think. I think probably almost all of us are struggling with that, because there isn't a healthy, consistent message that we're getting. We're kind of left to do it on our own a lot of the time, especially since it's not something we really talk about a lot as a society. I've also talked before about, like, me and also wanting to teach my daughter about having a healthy relationship with movement and using more like intuitive eating and trusting her body, trusting my own body, about when I'm hungry and when I'm full, and listening to that. So I think there is some sort of balance somewhere that we can have where we can be at our healthiest and follow doctor's advice, as long as they're a good doctor, and still love our bodies and appreciate our bodies, take good care of them. And I know it takes a lot of like mental energy and work, and it's something I'm always working on every day. But it's definitely worth it to care about your body. Also, like the term fat is really vague, and I don't know. There's a lot around it, a lot more discussion to be had on it, and especially like as I grow and what I want in terms of like a healthy relationship with body and movement. A lot more things to discover and figure out what's comfortable and what's healthy and safe. I also want my child to succeed in this society and be able to deal with the beliefs other people have in a healthy way. There are those silicone mats that I was talking about earlier. I'm just getting those nice and clean for the cats. And you could probably see a little earlier, I picked out a nice pink towel to replace the green one for my daughter's chair. So I really like those placemats I put on the table. Some of them are flowers and some of them are just squares. I only have 3 of the flower placemats, so I tried to make a pattern of flower square, flower square. The cat's like, "Hey, you cleaned this?" And I said, "Yep, and I cleaned your water dish out too." So you got some nice fresh water, and he goes over and takes a little taste. Just making sure that I'm doing the work that I need to do, right? This is where he starts getting a lot more interested in what I'm doing. He's such a sweetie. He plays fetch, which other people have told me their cats sometimes do. But the first time I saw him play fetch, that was the first time I'd ever seen it or heard about a cat that plays fetch. I think that's pretty neat. He likes to bring me his toy mouse and have me throw it and then bring it back and throw it again. he also likes to take that toy mouse and soak it in the water. Luckily, he hasn't done it in a while, but he would soak it in the water dish, and the other cats would be like offended. They'd be like, "Get this out of my water dish." And then he would leave the soaked toy mouse out somewhere where we would not see it on the floor and then step on it, and then we've stepped on this gross soaking toy mouse. And thankfully he hasn't done that in a while, but he has started putting the toy mouse into the food bowl, which offends the other cat that he shares the 2 food bowls with. We have to regularly take it out of the food bowl so that the other cat will be able to eat out of the food bowl unoffended. I'm not sure what it is about the toy mouse that offends the other cat so much. This cat is also really interesting because he arranges his environment. When we first got him as a kitten, he would literally move his food bowl over next to his water bowl because we'd read that you should keep those separate. The cats prefer them to be separate. And he would be in our bedroom, and he would drag it from one side of the bedroom to right over next to the food bowl. He's a smart cat. He also figured out where the laser pointer was coming from. I was playing with him with the red dot, and then he noticed me manipulating it with my hand, and then came over and sniffed the actual laser pointer. Obviously I turned it off at that point because I don't want to shine it in his eyes and blind him. But yeah, he's probably the smartest cat we've ever had. Sweet boy. He's really into that dirt pile I'm cleaning up, and his food dishes are over there now, so back in place. But I think what else he was doing the other day that was really smart. Oh, he saw this bag, this plastic bag I had of paper that I was going to shred, and he grabs the plastic bag with his mouth and yanks it off of the pile of paper, gets it out of the room, then takes his toy mouse into the room, puts it on that paper, and starts making, I don't know, noises with it. It seemed like he liked the crinkly sound of the paper and the mouse together. It was really strange. He's definitely got a funny personality. So this is about the only time I really use the disposable napkins that I do have. We just kind of collect them when we get fast food or something, and that's when we end up using the disposable napkins when the cats make a mess on carpet or something, because we don't want to use our nice cloth napkins or rags even on it. So one of them left some throw up yesterday, I think, and I have to get that cleaned up. I don't know where I ran off to. Maybe I'm letting it soak in or something, or I haven't even sprayed it yet. I'm not paying attention. But yeah. Oh, there we go. I did let it soak in. I already sprayed it. And then I was a little bit impatient. I don't think I let it sit the full time, so I have to spray it again and let it sit again. It's hey, you cleaning up the throw up? That was actually a big reason we wanted to make the house non-carpeted. We don't have any carpet at all in our house anymore because the cats would throw up on the carpet and then we'd never be able to get the stains out. We literally even hired professionals to come clean it at one point, and they couldn't get the cat vomit stains out. That stuff just, it's permanent. So, of course, now they find any scrap of soft, rugs or mats that they can and try to throw up on that. If we hear them about to throw up, sometimes we can get them into the litter box, so they throw up in there. And then it's not so bad, but they really like to just throw up on anything soft. I don't know. I'm not a cat expert, so I don't know why they love to do that so much. I almost got my husband a birthday card the other month. that said that. Like, it alluded to the fact that cats always throw up on something soft. What a cute kitty. He's such a good boy. He's sniffing around. Hey, you're cleaning. That was another reason that I just wanted to clean with just water in here instead of using chemicals. Because the cat's food and water and stuff, and what we use for food and drinking is in here. So it's better to just not have a bunch of like stuff that could get in the system, get in our systems, mess with us. I really like that purple curtain that I have too. That was another thing I was excited about buying, because when we moved in, it was this off-white, like beige-ish curtain, and you could see like the black cat hair collecting along the bottom of it where they would rub really well. Which this one probably needs a washing too, but I don't know. It's just such a nice, like, bright, happy lavender color. I like, and they like to rub on it, as you can see right now. Hiding it. Look at him. Oh, he's so happy. I like a good, happy cat. I'm always super wary of, like, those cat videos that get put online, because I want to make sure that I know absolutely certain I am sharing a video where the cat is not being harmed or, like, purposely annoyed. You know, I think about that with animal videos. So I kind of like that trend that started up where it's like, is the cat video cute? And they tell you about, you know, signs that maybe the cat is unhappy in this video, and like maybe someone made it unhappy on purpose. And I don't like that. I want to make sure the animals are being treated well in the videos that I share. I'd rather that get more traction and popularity rather than providing any sort of incentive for people to make videos where they annoy cats. I'm finally getting up the best I can. It doesn't get out perfectly with that stain remover I used. Also, if you can think of like a DIY stain remover that works better, where I'm not like combining dangerous chemicals, please tell me, because I'd rather not have to buy stuff from the store if I can make something in a more sustainable way. I've been slowly going through my cleaners and seeing what I can DIY. You can see I'm like sweeping all the pile into that closet right now, because maybe after the kitchen cabinet I'll work on the chemical closet. That's the chemical closet. So I'm just sweeping it all in there for now. Looks like the cat was like, hey, there's a dirt pile in there. But yeah. So I'm just trying to get the area clean so I can put the rug back down after that dries. And then I only have a little bit more to scrub, I think, on the floor. One more big section. You can see where my kitchen is there from the last video and how it all connects. It's a nice flow. It's not like open concept, which is really popular, but in a way that's probably good for us. But it feels like a really small kitchen to me. The house feels really small to me. And I've kind of had to learn to accept that I'm just going to live in a kind of small house, hopefully forever. But I hope I don't ever have to move. Except maybe when I'm like old and maybe I need to move somewhere with more help. I don't know. You can see when I scrub, like, I don't want the rest of the rag hanging down, so I just wrap it around my wrist. And that actually worked pretty well. So I could, just focus on using one part of the rag at the same time. I got pretty sweaty doing this. It surprisingly takes a lot of effort scrubbing the floors. Always makes me feel a little bit like Cinderella, except, without the horrible life situation. And luckily nobody's trying to put a glass slipper on me. That sounds so painful, to wear a glass slipper. I don't know, what do you think? But wooden shoes also sound uncomfortable to me, and supposedly there are some comfortable ones. So maybe there's a way, maybe with the magic of the godmother, you can make the glass slipper more comfortable. That would definitely be magical. I'm so excited. I'm like, yay, I'm almost done. Just have this little bit left to scrub, and then I can show off the rest of the room, and you can get that satisfying feel with me, hopefully, that it's all nice and clean. I love having the areas where we have food and where we eat, and are also like the common areas. I love having those clean. And I tend to focus on those rooms more and like my daughter's spaces more than I do on my own room. So our room is probably the messiest in the house because I just care about our room the least. But at some point, hopefully I will be able to clean that up. I see I'm got my playlist going. I've been listening to some Brother Ali. He's a really good artist. I'm really picky about my like rap / hip hop. People tell me there's a difference between rap and hip hop, but I've heard like several different explanations on that. So tell me what you think. Let me know what you think in the comments of the difference between rap and hip hop. But I've heard like one is about like real issues and one is more like just the, money, cash, girls, stuff, whatever. So thank you all for joining me today and helping me be a support in cleaning my dining room. I had a lot of fun getting it nice. So hope you enjoyed. Bye.